Good day everyone, I'm Joshua Clement and today I'm going to talk to you about an orbiting sander. Most commonly the orbiting sander is used for your construction use like floors, cabinets, or any woodwork that needs a little bit of touching up. The reason they call it an orbiting sander is because it spins around in circles and it vibrates back and forth. So this is great if you don't want to leave any streaks from your sandpaper on your wood because there's virtually no pattern to it. It ends up giving a nice smooth look to your wood without any streaks. It has a bag on the back that's detachable, so that way it sucks up a lot of the dust and it's not putting it into the air. So that way you can cut down on the amount of dust that's spread throughout the area that you're working. There's a lock on off switch, so that way you can turn it on and lock it in position without having to pull a trigger. That way you can set it down and go ahead and sand whatever you need to. Has a nice palm grip on there, so that way you can use it one-handed without having to put a lot of pressure on there. You want to let the sander do the work. You don't want to try to force it in there because that's going to burn out your motor. You have to let the sandpaper do all the work with little pressure. When you're putting on the fresh sandpaper, they have pre-drilled holes through your sandpaper, that way it can suck up all the extra dust. This is also Velcro on the back of here. That way you can stick it on there without having to snap it into place. What you'll do is you'll take your new sandpaper, and I like to go ahead and bend it back a little bit so I can line up my holes. Place it right over my hole and just lay it on there. That way you can go ahead and start sanding. Very easy to change out, especially when you're in a hurry trying to get some floor nice and smooth for someone else to come in and lay it behind you. Now when using the orbited sander, you want to avoid pushing down with a lot of pressure on there. It's going to burn out your motor, and the mechanism on the inside that has the bearings in there, it's going to wear that out and cause it not to spin as well. So you're going to end up with a lot more streaks rather than if you just put a little bit of pressure and let the sandpaper and the orbiting do the work for you. Now the orbit sander is a middle ground one. It's not the best product to use out there for sanding, and it's not the worst product. It's perfectly set right in the middle. You don't want to try to strip an entire floor with the orbiting sander, but if you have little areas, it's great to use on that. You want to avoid huge projects because they're not built for that much wear and tear across entire rooms. So you want to make sure that you have nice small jobs to use this on. Something to keep in mind is when you're using orbiting sanders or any sanders, you always want to wear eye protection and a dust mask. You want to keep that dust out of your lungs. Thank you all for watching and good luck with this project.